Aura. Wait. We're gonna get into the spirit here because the way I said it and everything just going on right now, it just didn't have enough aura to it. So say less. I'm gonna bless you guys right now. Aura. I hate myself. So I'm sure you guys have been seeing this word being tossed around in every facet of the internet, like AJ Lee was getting tossed around in 2012. And although it's typically Gen Z and Alpha throwing this word around, it's managed to make its way into damn near every corner of the internet, and really just entertainment in general. Anime, sports, politics, even just regular home videos. The word aura is pretty much the most prominent meme word on the internet right now. Now, what exactly is aura? In the meme context, I would describe it as a way to embarrass people on the internet, especially TikTok, for fucking up daily aspects of life, or the other context I usually see it in, a way for arguably straight people to dick ride a grown man without a boating license. But if we're talking about the actual definition of aura, according to Google, a quality or feeling that seems to surround a person or place, or to come from them. And you know, this time, I'll actually give the internet their credit. They have been able to somewhat maintain the original meaning of the word, no matter how ridiculous the memes got, and they get pretty fucking ridiculous. And I think that's really because the word is used to describe a feeling that somebody emanates. If somebody makes someone smile or feel good, or leaves them with an overall positive experience, plus 1,000 aura points. If somebody fucks up, trips, stutters, gets rejected, you know, things that people would typically perceive as embarrassing, then minus 1,000 aura points. I'm not that Jesus, I don't know what the fuck that was. But honestly, it's just any embarrassing shit that you get clowned on for the internet. That's kind of the meme going on surrounding the word right now. And I won't lie, guys, the content is pretty funny. Internet, once again, I gotta give you guys your credit. Even I find myself using the word aura, in the meme sense, of course, in my day-to-day speak.
I just want a man with a higher vocabulary, which you don't have on your day-to-day speak.
Y'all thought I was gonna pull a Rizoma, didn't y'all? Not me. I wanna unalive myself every time I find myself slipping up and using that word in a joking sense, 1,000,000%. But I still catch myself doing it. So that just goes to show you that it's a pretty funny meme. I won't even lie. But I can't help but be a little bit upset simply because I was always using the word aura, like in my day-to-day vocabulary. However, it wasn't in a joking sense. It was actually one of the words that I would use commonly to describe people. But yeah, you guys kind of ruined that for me. Now, if I say that to anyone that isn't my friend, they're gonna think that I'm a delinquent. And while they're not completely wrong, it's like, I don't want to go around having people think that, you know, like, damn. So while I appreciate the memes, I ain't gonna lie, y'all kind of patched me. But aura was really such a good word because it could be used for so many situations. It could be used to describe so many situations. It could be used to describe so many things. And more importantly, for the sake of this video, I think this is a word that we could use to learn a lot from. And while I do appreciate the memes, I must acknowledge that when we take a lot of these words that already existed and we twist the significance of them to, you know, a less serious context, it removes the opportunity for us to use a lot of these words and really a lot of these subjects as teachable moments. Like, let's be real, if you look up the word aura right now on YouTube, you're not gonna see spirituality videos like you would have back in like 2018. You're gonna see minus 1,000 aura points compilations on YouTube. And aura is such a good word because it has to do with an everyday aspect of our lives. Who are we as people? How do we make people feel? How do our actions affect the other people around us? What vibrations do we emanate? How do we make people feel with who we are and the actions we take? What is the energy that we give off? So I believe that it is my job as a mid-sized content creator to make a more positive video about aura, how to attain it, how you could use it to your advantage, and the different aspects of it that maybe people don't think about that often. So yes, while the internet did technically ruin the word and make it unserious, I want to take something bad and make it good. I want to take those lemons and make lemonade. And who better to do that than the Aura King? Like, come on, God, like, look at me. I am the living, breathing embodiment of aura. I just realized that I had my fucking headphones on the entire time. But yeah, I'm the living, breathing embodiment of the word aura. So much so, in fact, that that's actually what this video is sponsored by. But I just feel like I need to say something real quick. The other day I got kind of curious and I said, you know what? Let me try Googling my friends and my family's email addresses, names, and other random information just to see what would pop up on the internet. To my not so much shock, there were a bunch of things that actually came up that had their information, from links to websites. It's all out there for anyone to enjoy if they're willing to make the search for it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this personally would make me feel very uncomfortable. Unfortunately, the reason this happens is because data brokers sell your information to scammers, spammers, and pretty much anyone else who may want to target you. They get your name, your email, your home address, health records, even find your relatives. It's all out there. That's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submit opt-out requests on my behalf. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use this information to help them access my social media accounts, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. Now, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but AT&T recently revealed that over 73 million customer records from both existing and former customers were released onto the dark web. They recommended that those affected either use strong passwords, monitor account activity, and even consider credit freezes or fraud alerts from other credit bureaus. Well, Aura does all this for me, and best of all, I don't have to download several different apps because a company couldn't keep my data secure. Now, unlike a lot of words, Aura really isn't that ambiguous of a word. It's kind of self-explanatory, really. The Google definition honestly pretty much hits the nail on the head. If we're talking about aura in terms of people, then I think it's just the energy that a person emits, how that energy can make people around them feel. What vibe do you get when you're around somebody? What vibe do you get when you hear them speak? Hell, what vibes are you just getting by looking at them? And of course, what exactly are you taking away from their actions in conjunction to all of the above? And unfortunately, some niggas just don't got any aura. Now, I may be 6'3" and 140 pounds. Believe it or not, even me putting myself in this goofy ass getup, I am emitting to you some sort of aura. Like, be honest, when you saw this shit on my head, you probably thought something. At least I hope, you know, I literally kind of only did this to prove a point, but hopefully you felt something, even without looking at my ridiculous getup. You guys are still here after me talking for a few minutes at this point. So obviously I held your attention for one reason or another. It might be because of my voice or the quality of what I'm saying. For some, it might even once again be the way that I look. But the fact is, I am giving off some sort of energy that you guys are attracted to enough to continue watching this video. And therefore, I am emitting aura. You don't necessarily have to be a tall, skinny jean wearing Hellcat owner with dreads to have aura. At its essence, aura is just making people feel something, which is one thing pretty consistent with a lot of these aura meme videos. Whether they're meant to be taken seriously or not, someone either just exists or does something that people would typically react to in a certain way, and depending on if that was a good thing or a bad thing, they either get plus aura or minus aura. It's a pretty simple concept when you really think about it, but now that you understand the significance of the word, I'm sure you guys want to be on the positive side of the spectrum, right? You don't want to be that guy that loses aura, you know? And so you know what? I'm going to show you guys how to get aura. Yeah, so before we dive into the nitty-gritty, one consistent thing in everybody that has quote-unquote aura is that they have confidence and self-acceptance. It's okay to want to change stuff about yourselves, but really think about this. How much do you appreciate the way that you are right now? The foundation for how you feel about yourself is important for multiple reasons. For one, you want to build upon what your strengths are. So if you don't see strengths within yourself, people tend to try to manufacture strengths. Whether that means that they look online and see something in somebody that they really like and want to adapt that, or they be like, I don't know, looks maxing or something, when, if I'm being honest, you look like this. You will never get to the point where you look like a Giga Chad. It just kinda is what it is, right? You're setting unrealistic expectations for yourself because you don't even like anything about yourself. You don't understand what needs to be built upon. But also, you need to be able to understand your strengths because that's what you're going to want to kind of reinforce and build upon. You need to understand the things that you're good at, what makes you unique, and really like what type of aura that you have. If you have the type of aura where you have an infectious personality, build upon that. Maybe you don't necessarily need to be looking towards looks maxing. Like one example I always use on people is, let's say your self-esteem is at 30%. Then you find a way to get that 30 to a 50 or maybe even like a 70 through the means of, I don't know, makeup, looks maxing, things that you can't necessarily always maintain. And more importantly, things that are conditional. That means that you'll only be at that 50 to 70% under the conditions that you took care of that thing that made you get to that 50 or 70%. Now, when you accept all your strengths, accept all your flaws, and more importantly, just say, you know what? I am who I am, and it is what it is. You're already at 100%. So any enhance that you make towards yourself at that point is really just taking you to 150, 200, 300%, as opposed to just fighting and clawing just to get to that 100. And it's not even a real 100 because you're only at 100% under the conditions that these artificial things are taken care of. Really, you're just not going to be able to maintain it. So tell yourself this: I accept myself for the way I am while still being able to say I can improve and I can get better. Now that we've got that out of the way, we can actually start talking about what you can do to increase your aura. The first thing is, of course, visual identity. Things that most people are going to try to advertise you when it comes to this word, right? And I'm not just saying, are you handsome or are you beautiful, or even necessarily just the way you dress, even though that is a very important part. But even things as little as your body language. When people just see you standing there in the street, what is the energy that they're giving off? You might be the happiest person in the world, but you got the Mr. Crocker back and you got the most tired resting bitch face known to man. A lot of people are kind of going to write you off because you don't even look like you like yourself. How the fuck are they supposed to look at you and see anything in your dumb ass, right? It's bad enough you might not be the cutest. It's bad enough all your clothes is oversized and you don't even put effort into the way that you carry yourself. But on top of that, you look like you hate yourself? Why should anyone be interested in what you got going on? Well, yeah, I know I'm being a little harsh, guys, but on a real tip, you really got to pay attention to this stuff. Stop looking down at the floor, look straight, do not keep your head down, and just seem approachable. People are always going to be quicker to make a conversation with someone that looks like they would have a conversation with them. You gotta understand, people look at being social nowadays as taking a risk, and no one likes rejection. No one likes to feel like they're not wanted. So if I'm looking at you and you already look like you're gonna hate me, chances are I'm probably not gonna want to talk to you, and I'm probably just gonna write you off. If anything, I'm probably gonna go out of my way to avoid you. And I ain't gonna lie, this is something that I still struggle with. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I only have like 2 facial expressions. I have this one right here, and I have the one that I make when someone kind of makes me smile a little bit, which ain't shit funny right now, so I'm not gonna do it. But even though I'm at the point in my life where most people would kind of consider me conventionally attractive, I would think, I still look like I want to kill my, and so that probably fumbles a lot of my opportunities. Like, sometimes people will just be staring at me and then I look back, and on days where like I'm in more of a good mood, they'll smile back. But then on those days where I feel like shit and so it's gonna manifest through my body, sometimes people will just straight up look away. So it definitely shows in your body language. The other aspect of visual identity is just, are you attractive? And I'm gonna be honest, not everyone has this, and there's not always too much you can do about this. And I'm not no 250-pound, 6'5" red pill guru that's gonna tell your ass to go to the gym, when honestly, I don't even take my ass to the gym. But yes, there are things that you can do to increase your physical attraction, i.e. gym, even things as simple as just washing your ass. I know a lot of y'all don't do that, and it don't matter what I tell you in this video. If you're dirty, you got 0 aura. In fact, you got -1,000,000. Don't even, just click off now. Get your hygiene right. Yeah, get your skin right, moisturize, the regular stuff. Like, we ain't really here for that. And then the other part of visual identity is, the things that you can control. How you dress, the accessories that you wear, how you present yourself on the outside. And honestly, I'm a big advocate for at least somewhat dabbling into fashion. The other thing that's really good about having a visual identity is it makes other people comfortable having a visual identity. Physical aura enhances the things around it. Yeah, your friends will make fun of you for wearing some goofy ass fit. When people can tell that you're comfortable in yourself and they're around you, you make them feel like they can be comfortable being themselves. One big thing that no one really talks about is how much people long to be in a group where they feel like they can just exist and be themselves and just look cool, right? When you're around other people that look cool, you automatically feel cool by association. So you working on your physical aura will actually bring people around you without you even having to say shit. So, a little cheat code, but back to the regular stuff. Do not feel bad about self-expression. In fact, embrace it. Nowadays, everyone likes to play it safe. Sometimes people like to even be in defense mode, and so they're kind of walking around as a shell of themselves or who they can be. You might be a funny, lovable character around your friends, but then when you get around a bunch of strangers, it's like you faded into thin air. Or maybe you're having a conversation with somebody that you don't know, and you're playing it so safe to the point where, to them, you don't even feel like an authentic person. People can sense that you're being kind of a shell of who you really are. And unfortunately, when you do that, you're making people feel like they can't truly be who they are. And so you just got two auraless individuals just standing there next to each other. But it don't have to be like that. Express yourself, be open. Once again, this is why it's important to know your strengths. If you know you're a good listener and you meet a new person, play into that. Listen to them, ask clarifying questions. You know that you're funny, play into that. Well, within reason, obviously, right? Don't go around making like racist jokes and shit, but be funny. Just stop nerfing yourself just to play it safe. Because I can assure you, there are thousands of opportunities and potential outcomes that you could have had with people had you have just been yourself. But for some reason, we walk around thinking that we gotta be shells of ourselves. And that shit ain't cool. You got no aura. Another important aspect of having aura is being able to listen and engage. People love talking about themselves. I don't care how quiet somebody is or how much people don't like other people. Most people just want to feel heard and seen. So if you can provide people with that experience, you'll automatically become that much more attractive to them. Because most people don't listen. Once again, people like to play it safe nowadays. And the sad part about that is, they don't have people that are willing to listen to them. Being able to listen and engage has kind of become a dormant skill because of it. Everybody wants to feel heard. Everyone has that fantasy about being interviewed by some random dude on the street. There's a reason why that stuff does so good on the internet. Because for one, most people aren't willing to do it because we all kind of just walk past each other now. But also because people like to be heard. Listen to people. Remember little details that they told you. Bring it up in later conversations. If you guys are friends and you know that somebody likes Pokemon cards, maybe a few months down the line you could get them a Pokemon card. If someone told you about something that they really don't like or some sort of trauma they went through, it opens up opportunities for a lot of kind gestures because you're able to say, hey, I know you went through this, and so I want to make you feel comfortable, right? There's just a lot of things you can do. Do things that show people that you are engaged. Make people feel present. Huge word there. What do I mean by make people feel present? Let me give you guys a visual description. Are you ever just talking to somebody and you're thinking about everything but the fucking conversation that you guys are having? You're thinking about what you're gonna do when you get home. You're thinking, when is this guy gonna stop talking, right? It's like, it's gonna be messed up when I say this, but like talking to a lot of old people. Sometimes you'll be talking to somebody and they're just going on about themselves and on about themselves and on about things that you don't care about. Because you can tell that they're not listening, they're not present within the conversation, and so you don't feel present within the conversation. That's why when an old head spits game to you, even though it might be valuable information, I might not have wanted to hear it, and it didn't necessarily come across that naturally, and so I'm writing it off and I'm thinking about everything but being in a conversation with this old bastard. But other people, like celebrities, can talk for hours on end about topics that you can know nothing about, and you're engaged. And that's simply because you can tell that they're present. Oftentimes they're talking about things that they really like or things that they're passionate about. And so everyone can kind of just be present in the moment. The reason why you're not present is because one, you lack curiosity, and two, you live too much in your head. Just be sometimes, exist. You don't always have to think about what I'm going to say next. Just live within the conversation because the conversation is happening right now. You don't know what the other person is going to say, so stop anticipating it and just live. Listen, give them the time of day. And I promise you, your conversations with people will just automatically start getting better. The next thing is build rapport with people. Through doing all the things that I previously mentioned, you'll start to build good connections with people. I'm not gonna lie, knowing people and being on their good side is really just an aura cheat code. Like, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes you'll just be chilling with people and then a bunch of people will come up to you and dap you up. Yo, what's good, bro? Yo, what's good, bro? And that shit just makes you look cool because it makes people curious. Damn, if this guy knows a bunch of people, there must be something about him that is interesting. You want to provoke people's curiosity. It's why when you see a famous person walking through like the airport or something like that and a bunch of people rush them, even if they don't know who that person is, naturally they're curious. They're like, damn, there has to be something interesting about this person for all these people to be running up to you. Now, I'm not saying get famous because that's not realistic for everybody, but make sure the people that you have interacted with, you're leaving with positive experiences because they'll remember that because you listened to them. You made them feel present. You know, the shit we were talking about previously. And the last major thing that I want to say about having aura is just be open. Be open-minded and don't always be so quick to come to a conclusion. Oftentimes when we come to conclusions, there's nothing else to learn or discover in the outcome because you're already assuming that you understand everything, right? You're writing things off before you're even able to look into them. You ever have that one friend that just ends up in a lot of random shit and gets a lot of opportunities and you don't quite understand how they do it? Well, I'm gonna share with you a little secret. It's not because they're necessarily better than you at something. It's not necessarily because they have more aura than you. Oftentimes it's simply because they were willing. It's almost crazy because I brought this up earlier while kind of being on the opposite spectrum of it, but how many times did you look at somebody and immediately write them off because something about them didn't inherently catch your eye? Or you assume, damn, he looks mean, so he probably wouldn't mess with me. Or damn, I'm not good enough to sit at a table with this person. Or damn, this person is rich, they probably would never try to give me some advice. But like, when you think like that, you're blocking off like millions of alternate universes where you took a chance and it probably went in your favor. But you'd never know because you're coming to conclusions in your head, which isn't always bad, right? I'd be damned if I looked at somebody shooting drugs into their arms and didn't immediately think, man, I'm gonna stay the fuck where I'm at. But it's making certain judgments in your head and acting on them that kind of ruins all the possibilities that could have went in your favor. So be open-minded. As hopeless as situations may seem, be open to the idea that maybe it might not go the way that you think it'll go. One strategy that I use to kind of practice this is just saying yes. Sometimes we're gonna be asked to do things that we really don't want to do because it just doesn't sound that intriguing to us and the situation might seem hopeless. Unless it's putting your safety at hand, guys, just say yes to the shit. You never know what's gonna happen. In fact, oftentimes the worst thing that usually does happen is you wasted a little bit of time, but you learned your lesson. Now you built character and you know more about things going forward, and you could use that knowledge in other situations. You know what I'm saying? Just don't be so quick to come to a conclusion. And yeah, really that's all I got for this video, guys. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know your thoughts, questions, concerns. And let's get to 100K, man. We almost there. 10K more. We're almost at the promised land. We almost there. I got big things that I want to do, but we got to get to 100K first. Trust. But thank you guys for watching once again. I really appreciate you guys. And yeah, let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you maybe would want to hear, want some advice on, want to hear me talk about. And yeah, I'm out.
Black fire, black tie, dark shadow, blue socks, knee high, dancing with the devil in the middle of the moon. I know that it's risky, but this feeling got me too.